Immanuel Kant was a German philosopher who is widely regarded as one of the most influential thinkers in Western philosophy. He was born on April 22, 1724, in Königsberg, now Kaliningrad, Russia, where he spent most of his life. Kant came from a modest background and pursued an academic career, eventually becoming a professor at the University of Königsberg. He was known for his disciplined and methodical lifestyle, earning a reputation as a diligent scholar. Despite rarely leaving his hometown, Kant's ideas had a far-reaching impact on philosophy, science, and ethics. Kant lived during the 18th century, a period often called the Age of Enlightenment. This was a time of great intellectual and cultural change, characterized by a focus on reason, science, and human progress. Kant contributed to this movement with his critical philosophy, which sought to establish the limits and scope of human knowledge. His most famous works include Critique of Pure Reason, 1781, Critique of Practical Reason, 1788, and Critique of Judgment, 1790. These writings addressed foundational questions about how we perceive the world, make moral decisions, and appreciate beauty. Kant's major philosophical contribution, often called transcendental idealism, proposed that our understanding of reality is shaped by the mind's innate structures. He argued that time, space, and causality are not properties of the world itself, but frameworks imposed by the mind to organize sensory experiences. In ethics, Kant introduced the concept of the categorical imperative, a universal principle of morality based on reason, emphasizing that actions must respect human dignity and autonomy. His work bridged the rationalist and empiricist traditions, laying the groundwork for many subsequent developments in philosophy, from existentialism to modern epistemology. Immanuel Kant proposed a groundbreaking idea in his work, Critique of Pure Reason, where he states that time and space are not external realities, but categories of the mind. This concept, known as transcendental idealism, challenges the way we perceive and understand the world. Kant's insight marked a significant shift in philosophy. Before him, most thinkers believed that our minds simply recorded and responded to the world as it is. Kant, however, argued that our minds play an active role in structuring our experiences. Just as Copernicus showed that the Earth revolves around the Sun, Kant suggested that the world conforms to the way our minds perceive it, not the other way around. For Kant, time and space are not things out there in the world, but forms of intuition, ways in which our minds organize sensory information. When you perceive an object, such as a tree, you automatically place it in space, where it is, and time, when it is. These dimensions are the framework within which all experiences occur, but they exist only in the mind, not independently in the external world. Kant argued that we can never experience time and space as objects themselves. You can measure time with a clock, or visualize space through distances, but you cannot perceive time or space directly. They are the lenses through which we interpret the world, much like wearing tinted glasses shapes how you see everything without being part of the objects you observe. This idea fundamentally reshapes how we think about knowledge. According to Kant, we can never know the world as it exists independently of our minds, what he called the thing in itself. Instead, we only know the world as it appears to us, shaped by the mental frameworks of time and space. This limitation means our knowledge is always mediated by these categories. Kant's theory strikes a balance between two dominant schools of thought in his time. Empiricists, like Locke and Hume, claimed knowledge comes only from sensory experience. Rationalists, like Descartes, argued it stems from reason alone. Kant proposed that both are necessary. Sensory experience gives us content, but the mind organizes it through innate structures like time and space. To illustrate, consider a movie. The film strip contains individual frames, raw sensory data, but it only becomes a coherent story when played through a projector at a specific speed, time, on a screen, space. Similarly, our minds project experiences into the dimensions of time and space, making them intelligible. Kant's idea has profound implications for science, metaphysics, and human understanding. It suggests that we are not passive observers of an objective universe, but active participants in constructing our reality. This insight invites us to reflect on the limits of human perception and the ways our minds shape what we consider to be real. By rethinking time and space as mental constructs, Kant opened new avenues for exploring the nature of reality itself.